live right next to a Navajo reservation and have made friends with many of the people there, my age. We like to hang out, play video games, and just the normal teens thing. I walk over there a lot since my best friend lives a little bit less than a mile away from me. This isn't a long trek and usually only takes me about 25 to 30 minutes. I've made this trip dozens of times and have grown very comfortable with it. I know the people along this way, so I'm not really scared or on edge. There is a path of forest, however, about midway there. It's a little unnerving sometimes. There is always that feeling of being watched. This was a regular occurrence for me, so I tried to ignore it and shake it off, as my mind was playing tricks on me. This day I spent more time at my friend's house than I meant to, and when I left, it was already getting dark. I reached the stretch of the forest right as the sun disappeared from the sky. I shivered a little bit and readied myself to begin my journey through. I was about 10 steps in when I heard a branch snap. You know the sound, the one that screams there is definitely someone or something there with you. I froze, not sure what to do, and what should I do next? Should I run? Should I turn around and book it back to my friend's house? I didn't know my best option in this situation. I whispered, "Hello," hearing my voice crack as the words fell out from my lips. I don't know why I even opened my mouth, but it was out there, so I just listened for any reply. My heart sank when the answer came back in the sound of my voice. "Hello." I started to breathe too fast. My heart pounded against my chest. I felt like I might faint. "Hello." My voice came again, but not from my own mouth. I wanted to run, but my feet felt cemented to the ground. I couldn't even scream. I shouldn't reply. I couldn't reply, as my voice just echoed over and over from a short distance away. I couldn't pinpoint exactly where it was coming from. It sounded like it was everywhere all around me. "Hello. Hello. Hello." It repeated. "Stop it!" I finally managed to tear it from my lips. Everything went silent. For a long minute, nothing happened. The air grew stale, and I realized that for the first time, there were no typical forest sounds. There were no bugs, no frogs or crickets, nothing. I stood there, terrified, waiting to see what was going to happen next. "Stop it!" It mimicked back. I'd had enough and was willing my heavy legs to move. Before I could take a step, I heard rustling in the bushes about 20 feet away to my left. I watched in horror as a deer head and huge antlers protruded from this big bush. As it came further out, it stood on twos. I took off. I flew out of those woods and all the way home in record time. I said nothing to my mom when I got there. I just went up to my room, laid down, and thought about what just happened. Once I saw its head, that's all it took for me to run. My mother came in at some point and asked me if everything was all right. I replied that, yes, I was just tired. I just wanted to go to bed. I don't know why I didn't tell her. I guess I might have just been afraid of how she would have reacted. I called my friend and told him everything. He freaked out and told me no matter what, or what happened that night, to not reply or look out my window. This terrified me even more. He said to call him the next morning and that he would explain more, and that he had to speak to his grandfather as soon as possible. That night I didn't fall asleep at all. I stayed awake and listened to every little sound the night brought. Around 3 a.m., just as I was about to drift off, the air changed. The night sounds quieted. I felt my heart beginning to pound. I lay there and waited, pulling the covers over my head like a child, far too scared to move. It came after a long moment. "Hello." I just sat there and cried. It was all I could do. Hello. Stop it. It mocked what I had said in the woods again. It was terrifying enough when it copied me, but then it did something new. It called my fucking name. Amy. In my mother's voice. Amy. Amy. Come here. Hello. Stop it. My voice again. For the rest of the night, the creature outside of my window called my name in my mother's voice and repeated what I had said in the woods over and over. In the morning, when the sun broke through the dark, it finally stopped. I finally fell asleep. I woke up around 12 to my friend calling me to tell me that he had spoken to his grandfather and could explain what happened to me. He said there was a creature that they called I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm not going to try, but it translated to he who goes on all fours, or, as a lot of people know, a skinwalker. He explained that it was an evil witch that used dark magic to transform into animals with the attributes it required, that it had caught my scent and knew me now. I was also given a warning that since it knew me, it would always follow me, that I would always have to be careful. Last night I heard scratching on my window, then a low hum. The creature began saying my name again, but also adding in things I hadn't said in my mother's voice. At one point, it started calling me by my name, but drawing it out really far like, Amy. It tried to get me to come outside, or to open my door and let it in my house. This went on all night. At this point, I feel like I'm going crazy. I don't know what to do. Is it seriously going to stalk me in the shadows and be around me for the rest of my life? I don't think I can take that much longer. It was after my Wendigo encounter in 2016 and my dog had died. In 2018, I was 18 and was told by my MEPS that I would be going to infantry school in Fort Benning, Georgia in 2019. I was told by my parents to walk the family dog. He's an 80-pound purebred chocolate lab named Coco. I decided to go to the same area as I usually went, as I haven't seen anything different. My roommate was there when I found the first sign of evidence. He traveled to one of the ponds that was on the course, and I found a weird set of tracks. It was like a large bird track, and then it slowed and morphed into like a dog or a coyote track. I asked my roommate about it, but he didn't know. I only had a small amount of data about it, but this matched up with a skinwalker. I know jumping to conclusions doesn't make sense, but just keep reading. The tracks changing in the snow to a different animal was the first sign that I didn't want to stick around and find this 150-pound coyote. We headed back to my house. We didn't speak of it again. The following day I went out to the same place, but this time I saw something in the distance. It looked human from the start, but as I got closer, I knew what it was. I watched it slowly turn into a wolf. I didn't want to make any sudden movements. The dog was scared shitless and lying helplessly next to me. I waited till it went away, but it didn't. It's like he knew I was there. About 10 minutes had passed and he headed to the woods patch that was across the street. I decided to use this opportunity to run home. I never saw him again. I still go to that patch of woods. I went there in 2019 with my fiance and my family dog and saw nothing. It's weird as when I'm alone there, I find things, but when I'm accompanied, I don't. If I had any advice, I'd say to never travel in the woods or any place that has a lot of trees and places to hide alone. And if you travel alone, then bring something to defend yourself with. Stay safe. My name is Paul Johnson, fake name to keep privacy, and I live in a small town up in North Canada. My town's name is Rosewood, and the population is about 7,400-ish, and it is one of the most beautiful towns you'll ever see. My town has a freshwater river and a waterfall. It has hundreds of wooded forests surrounding it. I truly love my town, but it also horrifies me. My town is that town that you come in and you live after you retire, or you don't like being surrounded by many folks. So the thing that terrifies me about my town is that every night we hear screams from the forest, and whoever goes to investigate never comes back. 1/4 of the population of my town is Native American, and they say it is a skinwalker at night. I've done some research about these skinwalkers, and I wanted to see what was in the woods. I was curious to see if this thing was actually mystical, or this horrifying creature is real. And oh, how I regret going so much. I really do. So it was Friday night, and I told my friends what I was going to do. They all thought that I was just so brave to go, and my 15-year-old self fed into those bravery comments. My best friend Adam, Aloe, and Chayton, friends' names are fake to keep their privacy too, decided to come with me. They said to their parents that they were going to be having a sleepover at mine. My friends came around 6 p.m. and we watched some survival videos on YouTube and also some stories about some skinwalkers. The time came and it was 9 p.m. and the night was dark with a full moon. It was casted with a pure light. We sneaked out of my bedroom through the window and opened the front wooded gate and left for the woods. Aloe was wearing full hiking gloves, and he had cargo pants with different tools that we might need to use to survive just in case we got lost. And he wore a military-style belt to keep his pants up as some of our survival necessaries were pulling his pants down. We laughed at that, definitely. Adam had a bag with him, and he told Aloe to put some of his necessaries in his bag, and he did. While I and Chayton were just normal clothes, Adam and Aloe were supposed to be the survival experts. That is why they were in their hiking clothes. We hiked into the forest for a good hour, and we started to get bored because we weren't finding a skinwalker. While we kept on walking on this dirt trail, Chayton told us to stop and be quiet, and so we did. He said, "Listen, there is absolutely no sound, no birds, leaves blowing, crickets chirping," and we then remembered that in the skinwalker videos, everything goes completely quiet before it comes to you. Aloe started to get scared and said, "Guys, I don't think this is a good idea anymore." Then Adam said sarcastically, "Stop your moaning like a baby." Aloe then became quiet. All of a sudden we heard a branch snap and a low, deep growl. We looked in the direction that it was coming from, and we saw a pair of blood-red eyes. Aloe started running back the way we came, and we all followed after him. Adam kept on saying, "I knew it. I knew we should have not come. I fucking knew it." But I was terrified. But I was also fascinated that these used to be witch doctors, and now they're just some demon creature from hell. I was, of course, the last running, as I am not athletic, and I kept on hearing growls and grunts right behind me. At one point, I felt the skinwalker's damp, warm air right on the back of my neck. That made me even run faster. Suddenly, I tripped over a stone, a fucking stone, and fell to the ground. I started to cry and yell for the creature to release its strong grip off of my leg. I pleaded. I cried and prayed to God to help me. I cried to myself, and I said, "This is how I'm going to die." until I heard the creature scream with agony and pain as it let go of my leg, and I saw Chayton had stabbed it in the hip with his pocket knife. Adam rushed to me and picked me up while Aloe was still running back the way we came. Once I got up, Adam, Chayton, and I ran as fast as lightning. You could hear the creature cry and scream in pain. I looked behind me and looked straight at it. In its eyes, I saw a bit of humanity in it. I felt bad. I truly did, but then my anger came in and said that it had tried to harm me or even tried to kill me, so it got what it deserved. We finally reached the entrance of the forest and saw Aloe sitting there crying, saying that he was so sorry that he ran off. We forgave him and went back to my place. My adrenaline rush was so powerful that I didn't even feel or notice that my leg was bleeding. So I went to the bathroom and took a shower to clean it off. I cleaned my wound and put medical tape over it, as my bathroom had a medical kit in it. After I finished in the bathroom, my friends took their turns taking a shower and healing their wounds too. We then talked about what happened with the skinwalker and vowed not to tell anyone. But here I am, a week later, and writing what happened to my friends on Reddit. Now, if you made it to the end of this video, I wanted to say thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. I wanted to go over a few things before we end the video. I wanted to apologize for how long I've been gone. As you could hear and tell, I am still very sick. I finally am able to actually gain my breath back while narrating. I don't know what's going on. I've just got this flu that's been going around. Seems like everybody's been getting it. So definitely be careful. Videos are hopefully going to be coming back to their regular schedules now. So hopefully that stays like that. But once again, I do want to say thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. We're doing nothing but growing. I've got a lot, and I mean a lot of content, and a lot more coming. As long as I can stop being sick for like 5 minutes. Oh man. But yeah, make sure to check out the links in the description as well. My Twitter, Instagram, everything like that is in there, including my Gmail if you would like to submit a story. But other than that, stay safe, stay scary, and I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully when I'm supposed to actually have another video out. As long as I don't get sicker again. But yeah, hopefully. Okay, bye.